Hey guys, it's Jen. So I really wanted to make this video about doing the work and then reaping the fruits of your labor. But I want to look at this concept that's a little bit different than maybe what you've been taught. All right, so we have the line, do the work, reap the reward. This sounds nice. It's a little cliche, like it belongs on an inspirational poster, but it's a good message. Like we can all get on board with that, right? Let's read this a little bit differently. So here, I basically just broke them out into two different sentences. They're two directive sentences. Do the work, reap the reward. The mandate is a package deal. The adage is reap what you sow for a reason. It's not sow, then sow, then sow, then reap when you feel like it, or reap when you feel deserving of it. If the work that you put in is bearing fruit, you have to do something with that. I think that most of us feel that the merit and the honor is all in the work. And absolutely, there's merit in, not being lazy. There's merit in going after what you want. But not enough of us are actually viewing the second part here as part of the process. Reaping is as important as sowing. All right, this line here, when good things happen to you, get out of your own way and accept them. Okay, life is a journey and hopefully a long one, but it is an expedition that is set up for you to get your provisions along the way. And each supply fuels the next leg of your travel, if you're tracking my analogy here. And sometimes you come across something that's really cool, that if you apply some creativity, you can create something really unique and special. But at the bare minimum, you have to make sure that you're resupplying, that you have your provisions for the next leg. Okay, so that is when good things happen to you, accept them. This part here, when bad things, I call them lessons. When lessons happen to you, don't wallow in your sorrows, don't fixate. I totally acknowledge that sometimes tragedy strikes, and you should absolutely honor the grieving process. So that's not what I'm saying here. I have a framework that is designed to tow you out of fixation and unnecessary suffering so that it doesn't sound like I'm up here just telling you to stop being sad. The framework is the reflect, then redirect framework, and we'll walk through that together. Okay, real quick, this is not a conventional setup, but I just wanted to take advantage of the window that's on the other side of the room. So apologies for the unconventionality. I have this to download for free in my store. You can print it out or you can just have it on your phone for easy access. It's there, download it, it's free. So you can see the quadrants here that are broken out. So the top row is what is currently giving you negative emotion. The bottom row is what is the past event that keeps resurfacing? What is a memory that you keep replaying? So currently we're gonna reflect on what is the plan? What is it that you're doing right now that's not working? The first subject here is time. You're doing the work, but the project just requires time. Like it requires a sequencing and maybe you're time gated because you're waiting for something else to fall into place or this other thing has to happen, but everything is in movement. So if you've reflected and it just takes time, then you need to keep going, okay? You just need to keep building the thing. And then you need to redirect your expectations. Practice patience, practice delayed gratification, because you're doing the thing and the payout is coming. In the case that you don't have time or your plan just sucks, then you need to create, okay? You need to take action, and then you need to redirect your plan of attack. You need a different plan of attack if that's the case. So if this is something in the past that keeps resurfacing and keeps bringing you down, you need to reflect on how could this have been prevented? Okay, like really assess the situation. What was it, a miscommunication? Was there not awareness about something? So maybe a training plan needs to be built. Once you figure out what could have prevented this event, then you need to learn from it. So there's a new employee, new coworker. They didn't know or understand something and maybe an accident or a mistake happened where you could have just had training on it or you could have withheld them from a task that they weren't fully trained on. Something to that effect, okay? So once you've learned from the situation, then you need to redirect your posture. And this might be the veteran in me coming out, but I don't mean your back. I don't mean the posture of your body. I mean like your readiness. So you need to fix the condition that allowed this in the first place. That would be fixing your posture. Something at home or something at work that's kind of tempting fate. If there's clutter, maybe you're kind of asking to trip over something. If there is not training, then you're leaving a gap for mistakes to happen. So that's what I mean. So redirect the posture and fix the condition that allowed it in the first place. Right, something happens in the past. Why could it not have been prevented? And take note that I could have made this a statement. I could have just said, reflect on the fact that you couldn't have done anything about it. It could not have been prevented. But I didn't. This does need to be a question. You still need to reflect on it. It was a freak accident. It was an act of God. It could not have been prevented. Then you need to accept it. And then you need to redirect your focus because there are things in the present that require your attention. But while you're thinking about why it could not have been prevented, there might be a little detail that sticks out as an accident or a mistake that wasn't completely out of your hands. Maybe you're thinking on how they interpreted you differently. Maybe they're not taking what you're saying the way that you meant it. Then this sounds like an opportunity for the both of you to acknowledge the differences in your communication style or something like that, right? So if you discover something in the details while you're thinking about this just couldn't have been prevented, but then you find something, well, then it kicks it right up, right? This could have been prevented, then learn, then redirect the posture. And you did that by talking it out with that person, by saying, you know what, when I said this, I didn't mean it that way. And I think that we have different styles of communication, but like squash that, you know what I mean? Okay, so that's my framework. It's in the store in the link below. Okay, this is probably my favorite visual aid yet. We're gonna start out with a really simple equation. Do X to get Y. Very simple. You have the action, then result. But this is where we are going to make another mental shift, all right? Sometimes you're not X, sometimes you are Y. Okay, let's break that down. We are operating in main character mode all of the time, and this is natural because you only have your experiences, your body, your consciousness to work with, right? So it's natural that you only have this perspective. But this causes us to believe that we are the catalyst of everything, and that's simply not true. So many things are in motion all the time. There are people around us executing their goals, executing their plans. We need to allow ourselves to be subjected to the law of reciprocity. It's not always about us and thinking, if I do this for them, they'll be compelled to reciprocate. Again, you're just thinking from your point of view, like, oh, if I do this, this will be the natural outcome, right? You need to understand you're also in someone else's plan. Someone is doing things for you for a natural outcome, not in a nefarious way, hopefully. Honestly, giving just makes people feel good as well. And maybe this is the day that someone decides they're gonna pay it forward. Have you ever had that happen to you? You're in a coffee line and someone ahead of you paid for yours. Amazing feeling. And hopefully you feel compelled to do that for the person behind you, but I won't judge if you didn't. Just like that. So we are in the works with other forces going on around us, not just our own plan, not just our own path. This here is an Uno reverse card. This signifies that the work and the reward can seem to be flipped. And it kind of goes hand in hand with these squiggles. These are sine waves, by the way. There's one and there's a couple here. But a lot of the time, again, being in main character mode, we think that we're the ones that have to do the hard work to get the satisfying payout, right? So you always view yourself as down here at the bottom of the hill. And if you, like Sisyphus, push this boulder up the hill, when you get to the top, well, it comes back down on you if you're Sisyphus, so hopefully not that. But once you do the work, you'll have this really satisfying payoff of maybe ease in the future, of something you look forward to. But what if you're at the top? What if someone has done that for you? You know, what if someone has done the heavy lifting for you? So allow yourself to be subjected to the law of reciprocity here and understand that you are folded into a lot of different movement that's going on and the work that other people are putting in. So an example I have of this is a really simple one. Your coworker brings you your favorite coffee one day, unbidden, just delivers you your favorite Starbucks. Well, you're going to graciously accept it and then hopefully return the gesture in kind, maybe helping them out on a future project, returning them their favorite Starbucks. If it were me, some good stationery would do it, and a cute little notepad, some pens, pencils. We're square. But yeah, again, sometimes things are happening in your favor without your doing anything, even if it's just to give you a good day. This unveiling here, I feel like every time I unveil something, my drawings get more and more interesting. But this line here really signifies that reward and work can be flipped. If you have received first, take the cue and keep the momentum going. So we've got do the work, reap the reward, reflect, then redirect with that framework. Sometimes you're why, and I think you need to embrace that. I think we'll all feel better being the why sometimes. Okay, so throughout this video, the theme of acceptance came up quite a few times, and that's because this is crucial. I know a lot of you have difficulty with receiving and accepting, and I include myself in that actually. So I created this video to help us out with that. I had a lot of fun with this new format. Let me know if this works for you. Again, there's that framework in the link in the description. It's free, and I'll see you in the next video or in the comments below. Thanks, bye. Sorry guys, I forgot to unveil that last line there, and the last line was acceptance, which I talked about, but I forgot to remove the card. All right, that's it guys, bye.